Are Ollie's days numbered as Ed Woodward's sack machine looms overhead? Could the club be any more disrespectful to Sergio Romero? And Cristiano Ronaldo becomes patient zero in what could be the most ill-advised international break in the history of football. That and more on this episode of The Devil's Advocate. Welcome to the show. I'm Steve. This is Ryno. Ed Woodward is prepared to sack Ole Gunnar Solskjaer if United's season continues to stall.
Wish he'd sack himself.
Yeah. I wish he would put the sack somewhere. Nonetheless, Ryno, they've not done anything to help Ole. What is he supposed to do?
Not a damn thing. In fact, honestly, at this point, I think they're actively hurting him.
Right, they've
bringing more problems for him to deal with.
They've 100% not given him what he needed.
Not even asked for it.
Right. They've not given us anything. Our defense is so lacking. So, if anything, Ole will most likely fall back to this back five formation that is terrible to watch. And then teams will continue to just hit us and hit us and hit us, and probably win more and more games against us. And not only are we going to lose, but it's going to look bad. The games are going to look terrible. They're going to be boring. And I don't know what Ole can do to get out of this. We've got some rough fixtures coming up. Ryno, what do you think, man?
He is not in an enviable position. It's a tough run of games. And like you said before, I feel like we will see the back five. But again, with Martial being out and not having Cavani just yet, that may be the best thing against Newcastle, because then it depends on how he plays going forward. If Luke Shaw attacks as a left-sided center back, we have the ability, if we have Tellez, which again that's kind of up in the air, to overload the left side, and that might work against a team like Newcastle. I haven't watched them much this season, or really last season, or really ever, because it's Newcastle. Why would I?
Right. And ultimately, you want to back the manager. You want to get behind him, regardless of Ole in and Ole out. But another thing about Ole that I feel like is an objective fact is he doesn't adapt well to games. And I feel like a lot of managers in the Premier League have figured him out already, even with the back five. So I feel like as long as Newcastle is expecting the right thing, there's not a lot we can do to counter it. We're not winning the game in the midfield. We're not getting our strikers the ball. It's going to be a tough series of games. And last week, we were even talking about Ole making it to December. And at this point in time, I mean, what do you think, man? Maybe 3, 4, 5 really bad results. That could be it, especially if this stuff is leaking right now.
Yeah. No, this could be very, very bad, given what's happened now with the internationals.
Yeah, and
it's a large, an important portion of the team may not be available.
Right. And we're going to get to that a little later as well. And it's sad. It's just bittersweet. We keep doing the same thing over and over again. We just don't support managers.
Right.
We just, the Glazers spend enough money to keep us in the top 4, and then they pull money out, and then they sack managers. And even if they do bring a manager in, even if Pochettino is waiting in the wings, just ready to swoop in, what? We got another year and a half before the Glazers stop backing him?
Mm-hmm.
Granted, go ahead.
I don't think it has anything to do with specific managers. I don't think they want to back anybody. They just want to be in the Champions League because they want that Champions League money.
That's true, yeah.
So they get the new manager bounce, they give him a couple players that he wants, and it gets him back in the Champions League. And then they don't spend any more money.
Right, and they were doing that to Sir Alex, and it's just Sir Alex was a phenomenal manager, and he did what he could. Nonetheless, it's going to be a sweaty few weeks for Ole. Inevitably, I mean, you hate to say we're going to lose, but PSG on Tuesday, come on.
Right.
I I want us to win. Obviously, I want us to win. It would be silly
of
to
course.
say that I don't. I wish I could see it happening, and it's going to be bad. And then if Newcastle, if the result isn't good there, it's going to just keep compounding, and it's just going to add up over and over again. And I just feel bad for Ollie. I think everybody was all 18 months ago. We were all Ollie at the wheel. We were all super happy, and it's just you hate to see it. You hate to see what they're doing to him.
A lot of this stems, and we talked about this at the time. They never should have given Ollie the job when they did.
That's true.
Because he hadn't really done anything. Things, we got the new manager bounce, and they're like, oh, this is great. Let's give him the job. And then they gave him the job, and he immediately got the fear because he had something to lose.
Right.
And that's when the results went downhill. Because remember, in that first period, we were playing a 4-3-3. Everybody was happy.
Yeah.
We were playing well. The mood was light. And then he got the job, and everything changed.
Yeah, immediately. Formation changed immediately.
Because he had something to lose. He had to protect it.
Yeah.
And that's all he's done. He's protected it.
Yeah. And it seems like with each game of trying to protect it, there've been it's like sliding down a rope. Every now and then he gets a little bit of strength and he reaches up and he grabs a little higher in the rope, but he's continually slipping down.
Just rope burn all the way down.
Yeah, rope burn all the way down. But yeah, so we'll look forward to watching the next few matches. Hopefully Saturday we'll get something good. We'll have to see how it goes. Let's move on. Let's talk about Romero and the absolute disrespect this club has put upon a loyal servant of the badge.
Right. And not only is it disrespect, it's really stupid business.
It's terrible business.
Like, it's one thing for them not to run us like a football club, but then they run us like a bad business.
Yeah.
Like, if they're going to run us as a business, at least do it well. But they're not.
Right. So in case
all this money to De Gea and to Henderson and to Romero, and Romero's never going to play.
No.
And he wants to leave. So let him.
Yeah. So Everton comes in. Everton wants to pay 100% of his wages, which usually does not happen in a loan deal. Usually it's 50-50. Everton offers to pay 100%, £100,000 a week. Plus, they offered a £2 million loan bonus, which roughly, everything totaled in, comes to about £5.8 billion. Just, 1.2? Like, just shy of the £8 million we wanted for him in the first place. So instead of just getting rid of him, letting him go for the year, collecting $5.8 million, 2.2, that's where I was at. Instead, we're just going to pay him to be third string, and we'll probably never see him.
Right. And not only that, after the loan deal, you have an asset you can still sell.
Yeah. And even if you sell him,
right?
Yeah, and even if you sell him for $2 million, $2.2 million, you've made that $8 million.
Right.
And that's one whole season that he has not been on the books. We've not had to pay him.
We're run by the worst kind of idiots.
It's the worst business.
I can't stand it.
And not only, again, back off of the business, but onto the respect. Man, he's always been there. The last time we held silverware was underneath fucking Romero.
Right.
If you recall, he's been a loyal servant. He has been more than happy to be De Gea's deputy for years now. The least we could do is be like, yeah, go play first string somewhere else. Go be somebody's starting keeper.
Right.
And we specifically said no. It's absolutely terrible. It's just sad. Let's move on, though. Let's move on to the worst international break idea ever, and patient zero, Cristiano Ronaldo.
I don't like internationals.
No.
Not so much because our team sucks. Here in the U.S., given the fact, we've never been good. We had that one World Cup where they got to where like a normal, respectable team would get occasionally, but nothing else.
Yeah.
So I have no interest in the internationals anyway. And our players are always going off, getting hurt, getting sick in this case.
Yeah. Let's just jump straight into that. Cristiano Ronaldo has COVID.
Yep.
So now, at the bare minimum, everyone on those two teams has been exposed.
And they may have to self-isolate for 2 weeks.
Yeah. And that potentially wrecks us even worse because now Bruno, Pogba, Martial.
Well, Pogba's already had it, so
yeah.
I don't know how that would play, but they'd still probably make him stay away just because of the English.
Yeah, they'd still probably make him self-quarantine regardless. And then, yeah, Bruno, Pogba, and Martial at minimum.
Maybe Telles. I don't know if he was playing internationals for Portugal or not.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But yeah, we here at the Devil's Advocate have always said that we hate the international break, and this is just another reason to hate the international break. It was a dumb idea in the first place. It's always a dumb idea, but now, in this day and age, with COVID, this is just dumb. It's a terrible idea.
Yeah. Didn't need to do it.
Just the worst.
Didn't need to.
Yeah, we didn't need to. We've literally thrown the season. We've turned the season upside down as is because of COVID. We're playing games in closed stadiums. Why would an international break be a good idea?
Have to ask FIFA, I guess, or UEFA.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who's handling this one.
Nobody's handling it, and everyone's sick now.
Everyone's sick.
It's a bad time. Last but not least, Ryno wanted to jump in from something he saw on the internet that I can't necessarily speak to, and that is a quote from one of our favorite players, and that's Paul Scholes.
Right, which makes me sad, because I love Paul Scholes. Greatest midfielder ever. At least, especially at United, best of all time. Just an amazing player. But he has claimed that Anthony Martial has conned us into thinking he's a number 9. Which I completely disagree with.
Yes.
He's look at how we did last season when he was injured versus how we did when he was back. I mean, there's no comparison. And then you look at some of the more recent games, and they say he hasn't been scoring. Well, how many penalties has he earned?
Yeah.
How many of Bruno's goals did he create?
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. And we've had this discussion before. It doesn't matter who you put in our number 9. If our midfield can't get them the ball, they can't score goals.
Exactly.
So what are we supposed to do? And it's you love Paul Scholes, but at the same time you got to remember that even legends are people,
right? And
they can have opinions that are absolute crap.
Yeah, that's true.
They can be wrong, and in this case, I feel that Paul Scholes is wrong.
I agree. I think he is too. But good luck on League 4 or whatever team he's coaching or wherever he is.
Yeah, he's gonna do fine.
They pulled him into something.
He's fine.
Like Pee-wee football.
Maybe when they sack Ollie, we can just bring Scholes in.
Yeah.
Just keep giving the job to legends.
Yep. I mean, it's working out well for him.
Yeah, it's doing great.
Yeah.
So that about wraps it up. I want to pose a question to you guys, the viewers. If you are Ollie right now, what do you do? What do you do? Who do you drop? Who do you bench? Who do you play? What formations do you play? How do you, as Ollie, get out of the situation that we're in? And can you? Leave that in the comments. Let us know how you would do it. Like, share the video, show your friends. We will be live on Twitch this weekend, Saturday for the Newcastle game, doing a watch along. Feel free to join us there. Ryno, you got anything else?
Can I answer that question?
Yeah, answer that question. You can answer that question.
You know how Ollie gets out of this? He gets
the sack.
He gets the sack.
I mean, that could be it. Leave a comment. Let us know if you were Ollie, what you would do. Would you bench Pogba? Would you shit your pants? What would you do?
All of the above.
Or all of the above. Yeah, or shit Pogba's pants. Either way, thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you this weekend for the watch along and next week for a show. Have a good one.
Bye, everybody.